That's a freaking great question. And nobody's ever asked me that question before.
Okay.
But then here's what I would write in the contract. I would say my wife and kids get chicken eggs for the rest of their lives for free.
I'm sure Happy Egg could do that deal all day long.
Yeah, of course.
Thank you. You too.
Okay, bye-bye. How do you like them apples? CreativeNationTour.com. Lizbeth, what do you have for me today? How can I help?
We want to relocate to Franklin, Tennessee.
Okay, that's good. So I like that area.
Memphis. Yes.
That's a great area.
Yes. So we looked at a apple orchard that it will be our primary residence, but at the same time, it's a business. And we went and looked at it last week. We went with our kids, and you could already imagine my kids going.
Dude, I'm like, give me the address. I might buy this apple orchard myself. What?
It's beautiful. I mean, I sent you the property address and a little bit of information to your email last night. So we went in there just to drive by, and I was like, I don't think nobody's gonna be there. And the owner was there, and he came out and he waved at us. So my husband got down and he was like, yeah, come inside. I'll show you the house. I'll give you a tour. He gave us a whole explanation and everything why he's moving. So the reason why he's selling is because he's moving back to Ohio because he builds chicken coops, and they offer him to move back. So whenever he bought this orchard, it was just for him to be his forever home. Okay. But now that he got, another offer back home where his parents are and all that, he's moving back. But he's been trying to sell this property for over a year. They started the purchase price at 3.2, I believe. And right now it went down. He's not with an agent anymore. He mentioned to us that he's about to sign with another broker in the next few days, but he didn't want to do it until he knew whether we were going to get it or not. So without a realtor, it will be a 1.7 mil. And with a realtor, it will be like a 1.8.
He dropped the price that much?
Yes. Because at this point, he just wanted to get it sold and to move back.
So what do you need my help for? How can I help you?
To renegotiate with him because he's not willing to do creative. And since it's our first time buying a kind of like a farm and orchard, I think they require either experience that you have being as a farmer to approve with the traditional way.
Did you not say, yo, dude, I'm Hispanic, bro. We can do anything.
I know. Yes. I was like, I can do everything. And my dad has a cattle ranch 15 minutes from there. We don't want to ask any additional favors if we didn't have to the family, because you know how that goes. So we're just trying to see if there's a way. We already talked to him. His name is Cody. And we told him that we might give him a call today with our partner and see if we can see, if he could go creative. He said that he's willing to do some creative because he has the mortgage and he has a loan with it on the second position.
Okay.
I guess that he applied for a loan to do the 20% that he had to come at closing.
Do you want to text me his phone number?
Yes.
Do you guys want me to call a seller right now, just out of the blue?
Yes.
Some apple orchards.
And you can't see me right now, but I'm shaking. It's the first time that I actually pushed myself to talk in a big audience like this. So I'm shaking. And my husband you can do this.
You're saying Hispanics can do anything but speak in front of a large audience? Is that what you're saying?
Well, no, it's speaking a large audience too.
Okay.
I pushed myself to do that. So
yeah,
I can do that.
All right, let's do it. He's expecting my call?
Yes.
Okay. Older guy?
Yes. Well, kind of. It's on 40s.
Okay. That's young.
Hello.
Hi, is this Cody?
Corey, yes, go ahead.
Oh, Corey. Hey, how you doing? This is Pace. I'm friends with Lizbeth. I fund a lot of her real estate deals. How you doing?
Doing well. How are you this evening?
I'm really good. She said that you guys gave her a nice tour of the apple farm.
Yeah, we were not expecting it. So yeah, I tried to give the best tour I possibly could.
Yeah, think you could probably imagine somebody goes to your apple farm and now it's all they can think about. They want to buy this house so bad. She said something about you are relocating somewhere.
Yeah, so we got the opportunity, golly, back in, and just give you a little back history. So we were starting our apple orchard, getting everything rocking and rolling. We're waiting for apples to fully mature, start to do some U-pick operations. And back in June of last year, my banker calls me. He goes, do you want to go back home and grow chickens for me?
No.
And I'm like, well, possibly, because chicken farms do not come available back home in Ohio because the chicken company is a really good company and people want to grow for them. So I said, yeah. He said, I know you got a really good thing going on in Tennessee, but he said, I want someone to basically go back and take care of this pre-foreclosed farm. I said, well, let me see what I can do. So I went up, looked at it. We're working on the deal. And long story short, we ended up not buying it. The guy would not come to his senses on a price. The bank told me what he owed, and what he wanted was about another $1 million difference.
Okay.
So we were like, okay, well, whatever. So that time I said, you know what? You know, we listed our property at that time because we started our negotiations. We listed the property, our farm and stuff. I'm like, well, the house is for sale. You know what? Let's just go ahead and move back home and be closer to family. You know, why not? So we found another chicken company that we do business with. And they're like, yeah, absolutely. If you want to build a chicken house for us, absolutely. We will come to Ohio. And previously they didn't. The furthest east they came was Indiana. And they're like, what's a few more miles across the state line? No big deal.
Love it.
You know, so they're like, yeah, we'll do it. So we're trying to get everything kind of squared away. We're trying to get our farm sold. We got about, golly, I told you, we're basically moved out of here. We're about 98% moved out of here. Okay. So we're ready to get the ball rolling and get our farm sold so we can get back home, you know, because we got to have our down payment money for our loan.
What's your down payment amount?
So our down payment amount is $150.
Okay. So $150K. You guys originally had this listed. By the way, that's really cool. It's funny. Lizbeth is obviously not a chicken farmer. So she's like, I think he's building chicken coops or something. I'm like, oh, cool. and now I'm talking to him like, I think it's a lot bigger than chicken coops, lady. There's a company who we're growing chickens for. There's a company out there that's nationally known called Happy Egg. Okay.
You can get their eggs in Walmart, Kroger, Publix.
I've used those eggs. Yeah, they're the ones with the really good packaging. Yep,
really nice, bright yellow packaging. So that's Happy Eggs. That's who we're going to grow for. We'll put about 30,000 hens out there on a pasture and just let them do their thing in a pasture and organically. So
I need a tour of this operation.
It is going to be the Taj Mahal. We're building a really nice chicken house just because that's our home. You know, I don't want to put something crappy in it. So I'm like, okay, let's not cut corners. Let's do it right the first time.
Right.
And we're doing it right the first time. And yeah, it'll turn out beautiful when we get it all said and done. So,
okay, cool. So on your deal, your main stress is like, hey, I need $150,000 down payment for my new farm that we're moving into. I'd like to sell this apple orchard, but I don't want to give it the thing away, obviously. You guys have it listed, I think, for 1.7 or 1.8. Is that right?
Yeah. So we originally had it listed for 1.85.
Okay.
And basically, to be honest with you, I'm just being straight up honest with you. I told them 1.7 the other day because that'll pay off it'll pay off our first and second mortgage, give us our down payment money, and that's it.
How much?
That's it. How
much do you owe on your first?
I'll just be real with you. Altogether, I'm just going to tell you both of them. Altogether, we owe a little over 1.5.
Okay, 1.5. Okay, cool. So
yep.
Here's a weird, wild idea. Okay, it's a chicken brain idea.
Okay.
I'm sure she already kind of pitched this to you, but why would you want her to go get a new bank loan just to pay off your bank loans? Like, why not just let her give you a down payment and take over the existing bank loan so she could give you the number you need?
So if they could take over the existing loans,
yeah,
I don't know if U.S. Bank will let them.
Yeah, of course,
take them over or not.
All banks will let them take them over. It's called subject to transaction, or you could even do a lease option transaction where you lease the farm to her and give her the option to buy it, and she brings a down payment large enough to clear out what you need.
Okay.
Okay. There's a thousand different ways to do it. Essentially, if we could just make it simple, it would be you have existing payments already in place.
Yep.
Cool. Well, she could go qualify for a loan and she could go do all those things. And that's going to take months, right? Getting big loans takes a long time, and they're going to go through all the things that take whatever. And the loan officer is going to say 3 more months. I need 3 more things. I need 2 more statements. I need whatever. Or you could just say, hey, let's close in 2 weeks. We'll do a lease option. So you lease it to her. Her lease payments are the same amount of money as your mortgage payments. So those are all completely covered. And then she gives you a down payment that gives you the cash that you need to go buy the new thing.
Okay. And let me ask this, because it'd be totally new for me. So pardon my ignorance. So bear with me, please.
Of course, yeah.
So if she were to do something like that, would everything deed over to her, and that way?
In that situation, no. In that situation, a lease, she would be basically a tenant. Okay. So think about if you just rented this farm to somebody else that wanted to operate your apple orchard, right?
Yep.
You would lease it to them for exactly what your payments are. The difference between just a regular rental and a lease option, which is what I'm describing, is that she has a lease with you, just like any tenant, but then she also holds a document, a 1-page document called an option. And that option gives her the ability to buy the farm from you, 24 months or 36 months or 48 months down the road when interest rates go down. The biggest challenge right now is like the Fed is going to lower rates on the 27th, I believe. They're going to lower rates again in December. I believe they're going to lower rates again in the first quarter. And so what the challenge is when the Fed has the rates really high, your farm is going to have a really hard time selling. I'm sure you've experienced that. You probably had it listed and people can't buy it. Not because it's not worth that price. It's because it's not worth that price at a 7% interest rate, right?
Correct.
So if you let her take over the payments and you strike an agreement and you say, you're going to lease this from me until rates go down. Once rates go down, you then go get a loan, reasonable in the 4 or the 5% interest rate. Let's say that's 36 months down the road. She now has the option to buy the property from you with a new bank loan later down the road, if that makes sense. So you keep the deed. Okay. She would have, I'm going to throw a really crazy word out at you. She would have what's called equitable interest in the property, which means you couldn't sell it out from underneath her. You couldn't release it to somebody else unless she breached contract or she did something stupid. Okay. So she would be a tenant with an option to buy, if that makes sense.
Okay. So she would essentially take care of taxes, insurance,
everything,
the whole 9 yards.
Everything. Yeah. Even the apple orchard.
Okay. That could be a possibility. Like I said, my biggest thing is just having our down payment money so we can close our loan. That's been our biggest struggle. And like you said, we're already from where we listed the farm to where, we're right now we're already below appraised value.
Of course. Yeah.
So I got over $1 million invested in the apple orchard. I will never recoup, and that's not even near the. That's not even on the
Let me tell you
price.
something. Let me tell you something kind of cool. Okay, I'm not going to advocate for her for a second. I'm going to advocate for you for a second. Check this out. You can sell this farm for whatever you want to sell it to her for, right?
Okay.
You are the bank in this situation. So let's say you're at 1.7 to her because you're like, I just want to get out of the deal and get a cash down payment for my next deal. Cool.
Yep.
Well, I think you're thinking short-sighted, my friend. I think what you could tell her is I want to sell this to you for 1.9 and I'll give you 48 months to refinance me out of my 1.9. You could actually add a little bit of money to the lease option. That's up to you. You're the person. And so while you do have $1 million sunk in the deal, why let 100% of that million go down the toilet? Why not let her structure it in a way where you say, hey, Lizbeth, I like this. I like you. If I can get my down payment, I'll lease the property to you. I'll give you credit for the payments that go to the bank. Mm-hmm. And I'll give you 48 months to refinance me out once interest rates go down. But I want a purchase price of 1.87 or 1.91, whatever the heck suits your fancy.
Okay. And that purchase price would, of course, already have the purchase price minus the down payment she already put down, correct?
That is correct.
Okay.
So, and by the way, I don't have a dog in the fight. I just have done a bunch of deals with her and I'm just a lender for her. So I usually just call up and I go, hey, let me see if this is a good deal I can help you out with, right?
Yep.
And there's obviously no requirement for you to say yes or no on this call. This is just to plant some apple seeds and see if we can have something blossom, you know?
Yep. Yep. No, I guess to do a deal like this, because it would be me going out on a limb.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm trying to think here, say if I'd done it for 1.8 or 1.9 or whatever the case may be,
yes, sir.
Could I just possibly look and say, hey, how about we do 200,000 down? Then that way I got a little extra money in my pocket to finish out, what we need to with our construction, building our house in Ohio.
You could, definitely you could. I don't know what her breaking point is on that number. That's a conversation that I think I could help out and like kind of push back and forth. But The answer is heck yeah, you absolutely could do that. The other thing you could do is, let's say her breaking point is a smaller down payment. I don't know. I haven't had that conversation. But let's say her breaking point is 150, hypothetically. You could say,
yep,
this is where these contracts get super creative. And you could say, I want 150 down now, and I want 50K in 6 months.
Okay.
You could do that, right? I had a seller I bought a house from 10 years ago. She says, I want $100,000 down. I go, no problem. Can I give you 10 grand a month for 10 months? And she goes, we could do that. And I go, yeah, we could do 100 months for $1,000 every single month if we really wanted to. Just kind of depends on what you want to do. So yes, the answer is yes, you can. And there's this leeway between you and her, right? She's going to want to get into it as low as possible, and you're going to want to get as high of a down payment as possible. And with creative finance, which is what we're talking about, you guys can both win. You can get a $200,000 down payment. You just might have to spread it out over 6 months. If you're open to something like that.
Okay. Yeah. We could. Yeah.
What city is this in, by the way?
Like,
if I found, here's some suggestion for you. I'll give you some homework. I suggest that I get maybe a real estate agent or one of my closing attorneys in that state that has done deals like this in the state, and you just poke holes in this left and right and find out what you don't like about it. My belief is you are currently out on a limb right now, right? Like you say, hey, well, I'm going to go out on a limb and bet on Lizbeth. Well, you're on a limb right now betting the house is going to sell in the retail market.
Yep.
The difference is you're making a payment next month, aren't you?
Yep.
So this really takes a lot of the risk off the table and just kind of puts the risk in a different place. If she gave you a down payment and let's say 4 months later, she gets abducted by an alien, right? Like an alien takes her off the planet. You got $100,000 down payment or $150,000 down payment. You just take the farm back and resell that thing.
Yeah.
Like there is no risk other than what you currently are doing right now, which is making another payment next month on a house that is vacant.
Yep. Yeah, that's our biggest thing. We've talked to, I've had 2 real estate agents knocking at my door wanting us to get it back on the market.
Yep.
So, and that's why I was waiting to hear back from these 2. So that way I knew kind of the direction we were heading.
Yeah.
Because believe me, I'd rather just get it sold instead of sitting back out the market and be done with it. Because we got 2 small loads of furniture take to Ohio and we're done. We're officially out of here. So
I totally get that.
And how quick could a transaction like this be done? I mean, that's my biggest thing.
The true answer is 2 days.
Okay.
Because you're going through a title company or a closing attorney, right? They're going to go through and do all the paperwork. We would hire them if I ended up helping her fund this deal. Okay. We would pay for the closing costs, so you'd be out of pocket nothing. She would do like a final walkthrough, make sure that there's not a nuclear bomb underneath one of the trees or something,
Yeah.
And then she signs off on the house and she could close in 48 hours. That's how fast this is, because this is how real estate used to be done, right? What happened in the 1800s and, early 1900s when there were no banks or title companies, people just did paper contracts between each other. It's just the way it's always been done. You could close in 48 hours, but the typical time frame is about 10 days. And the reason being is because you're hiring a third-party company like a title company or a closing attorney. They don't work for her and they don't work for you. They're just a non-interested third party. And they have their own files that they might have 3 days of backlog before they can even touch this file. And so 10 days is probably a good expectation.
Okay. And what do we do about so we have a small other lien on our property. Is that perfectly fine to be hanging out there so we can get it paid off?
You know what's kind of cool, Corey, is I bought a property this exact way 3 years ago from a seller. It wasn't a farm. I wish I bought a farm in Montana, but I don't have any apples on it. So I kind of got the short end of the stick. But the seller had a $7 million IRS lien on the property, and the property was only worth $4 million.
Okay.
And the seller's like, well, I have this massive lien from the IRS. And I go, yeah, but I'm leasing the property from you. The IRS can't come take the property. I'm the one taking the risk. And the lien will fall off probably within 3 or 4 years, and they'll have to redo the lien. And if they do, cool, I'll just keep leasing the property from you. In that situation, I had all the risk, not the seller. In your situation, what is your lien, if you don't mind me asking?
That one is Adams County Nursery, one of the apple orchards we dealt with.
Okay, cool. So you owe them a little bit of money.
Yep.
Okay, cool. So do you have a monthly payment to them?
No. So what we done was we kind of agreed, because they knew our farm was for sale.
Okay.
We just said basically put that lien out there, and when we sell the farm, we'll just go ahead and pay it off. And they said, that's fine, cool, we'll deal with that.
Love it. So what you can do is you go, hey guys, we couldn't sell the property. This is kind of the beautiful thing, is you have technically sold the property to Lizbeth in this situation, but it would not record on the county recorder's office as if you sold it. So what's beautiful is that debt doesn't have to be paid off right away. Just say, hey guys, I'm going to lease the property for a little bit. And when my tenant decides to buy the property, that's when I'll get you paid. I just need you guys to wait. Heck, she could even pay them $200 a month or something, on top of whatever her payment is, if you want to restructure that. But that lien does not mess with her, and it doesn't mess with you. She's leasing it with an option to buy.
Okay. All right. Well, that sounds a lot better. After talking with you, it kind of made a lot more sense. Like I said, we as my wife and I, she's listening right now. I got you on speakerphone. It allows us to kind of talk about.
What's your wife's name?
Rebecca.
Hi, Rebecca. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. Do you got any questions for me?
No, not right now.
Cool. Yeah. This is what kind of stinks about this market right now, is that real estate agents have one tool in their toolbox. And what that tool is they put a sign in your yard, they put it on the market, and they wait for people to call. They're not out trying to sell the property. They're not coming up with creative solutions, and they don't control interest rates, unfortunately. And so their best tool is, hey, Corey, hey, Rebecca, keep lowering the price on the property. Because that's, just got to keep lowering the price. You're like, it's been appraised for more. Why do we keep lowering the price? Can't you sell this thing? When you do a creative solution like this, you can sell it for a little bit higher. You can bless another family in the process, and you can get the number that you guys deserve. And then more importantly, you can close escrow in like 2 weeks and be done.
Okay.
So here's next step. So Rebecca, Corey, my name is Pace. Just a quick reminder of my name. I've got a team of awesome ladies. I've got a girl named Molly, a girl named Jade, a girl named Shelly. What I would do, here's what I would do. I would throw out an agreement that would be a lease option for your state, and I would have Shelly, my transaction coordinator, walk you through an agreement that's completely blank, meaning it doesn't have any like numbers or figures on it. And she would, basically what she would do is she'd try and harvest. See how I use the apple analogies? She would harvest questions from you and see if we can come up with more problems of why you wouldn't like this. And then you go, hey, we feel really good about this. Let's fill in the numbers and let's do this agreement and close in 10 days or 14 days or whatever it is. Okay. So no pressure from us. Here's what's fun about what I do. I know the tools that I have are by far the best solution for your family and for Lizbeth's family. And if it's not, then I go, oh, yeah, you know what? You should be going with a real estate agent. You should go that route. And I've pushed a lot of families to real estate agents. It's just that that's not the proper market, I don't think, right now. And I think you guys are probably feeling that a little bit on the buyer sentiment side.
Yep. Now, how, I guess my question is, how do we know, and again, I don't mean no ill by none of this, please don't take this wrong way, But how do we know that they have the finances to go ahead and pay the monthly payment, I guess?
Great question. And by the way, you should be asking 20 more of those questions. Okay. Like, you know, where did her parents come from? Is she a legal resident of the United States? Like literally all of those questions are important questions, and they should be asked. Okay. So like, as you guys are laying in bed tonight and all the worries and all the questions that pop up, because there's going to be questions that pop up that you're not even thinking of right now.
Yep.
Write them down. Don't miss a single one. And I'll even probably come up with 5 or 6 of them that you won't even think of. So the first one is, how do we know she has the wherewithal and the ability to pay for this? Well, that's where I come in. I will show you my net worth statement. I have a family office that runs my wealth. I'll show you all my properties I own and my companies that I own. And I'll even show you my bank balances and even let you talk to my banker at Chase. And you guys can talk to Rod, is his name, verify all the capital, and you can verify the income that my companies provide. And I will come in and help her get the deal done on top of her own verification of her own ability to pay for the payments.
Okay.
So that's step number 1. Step number 2, I would say, well, what happens if you die? What happens if you get abducted by the same alien she gets abducted by? And I've got answers for all that kind of stuff too.
Okay. So here's what I'm gonna pop out at you. What about if do you ever have to have a life insurance policy just in case something were to happen that would take care, suffice the balance out there, or is that really that important to even have to do something like that, I guess?
You know, that's a great question. I've never had anybody ask me that question, to be honest with you.
Okay.
I do have a life insurance policy. It's a $20 million life insurance policy. I'll even let you guys see my life insurance policy and even talk to my life insurance guy. That's a freaking great question. And nobody's ever asked me that question before.
Well, and the reason I ask is, like, for my loans that I do with my commercial chicken houses, it's in the millions. Mm-hmm. And you know, the bank wants me to have a life insurance policy.
Of course, yeah.
You know, and they're like, goodness forbid anything ever happens to you, we want the chicken farm paid off.
100%.
You know,
I will. It's Mutual of Omaha is my policy, and I have a $20 million death benefit, and I could even sign in the contract that states that if I pass away, this thing pays off the farm.
Okay.
But then here's what I would write in the contract. I would say my wife and kids get chicken eggs for the rest of their lives for free.
I'm sure Happy Egg could do that deal all day long.
Yeah, of course.
So, okay. Yeah. Let me talk with Rebecca about it.
Of course.
And see if we can kind of come up with a plan. You know, I like that plan a little bit better because that way it helps us, it helps them, it gets someone new in. And to be honest with you, the benefit of us putting the farm up for sale last fall was basically to give the new buyer at that time a better idea of how to educate themselves in the apple business.
Right.
So that way they had all fall and winter to learn how to properly. So that way when they went in the spring, it wasn't so hard on them.
So this is kind of like the perfect time.
It is. It is the perfect time because goodness forbid, I don't want to put someone out there in late winter, early spring, because it's going to, it's complete hell. You know, you're like, okay, what chemicals do I need to spray? What pruning needs to be done? You know, and I want to ease someone in so that way they fully understand what they got to get ready for. So
totally get that 100%. And I think that's a smart, really, really smart plan. And I look at this and I'm like, okay, well, let's pretend that I don't exist and that Lizbeth and her family doesn't exist. You guys, how are you going to sell this property? And how are you going to get the 150 grand for the down payment? And how are you going to get the 50K for the reno? And how are you going to find a buyer that is in a perfect time frame to take this farm over, where you really have virtually no risk if the paperwork's set up properly? Like, what is the game plan currently?
Yeah, well, and there's not one except just put it back out in the market. And that's what kind of stunk with our previous real estate agent. We had it out there for 14 months.
Yeah.
And like you said, the sign went in the yard. And hell, to be honest with you, there wasn't a sign in our yard for 5 months, 6 months. You know, it was just out there on the market, quote unquote. So it's like, okay, what can we do to get this place sold? So yeah, that might be the best option right now.
Yeah, I think it's definitely a good option for sure. And there's other things that we can do to structure it. I think the best thing for you to do is go to sleep on it. Let's have another conversation maybe tomorrow or in a couple of days. You know, we can take our time, whatever you want to do.
Yep.
And, you know, the tough thing about real estate agents, I used to think this too, when I got into business 15 years ago. I thought real estate agents sold houses. And the reality is they don't. Price or terms sell houses. And right now, I know terms, which is what we're talking about. Let's structure some terms, right? Down payment, you lease it to her with an option. That's terms. Or price. And the only other option you have, which your agent is probably going to say to you, is like, well, we just need to lower the farm another 50 grand. And you're like, well, that's going to eat into my ability to get a down payment, you knucklehead. That doesn't solve my problem. So sadly, real estate agents don't sell houses. It's either price going down or you accepting terms. And it's a good option. So I think you guys should sleep on it. We can chat in a couple of days.
Okay. Yeah, give me a call. What is today, Rebecca? Wednesday. Yeah, give me a call on Friday because it's actually, I just spoke to someone a little bit ago about this. It's actually working out in our favor because our loan is also backed by the Farm Service Agency back home in Ohio.
Cool.
So, you know, they've been on furlough. Well, they go back to work tomorrow. So I'm going to be pounding on the door because that's literally the only thing stopping us from closing our loan is our down payment plus them getting back in the office to get the paperwork finished. So that'll give me time tomorrow into Friday morning to kind of talk with them. Because I mean, let's see, it's what, almost 6 o'clock out there for you right now in Arizona?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that's fine. Rebecca and I will talk about it. Then, yeah, give me a call whatever time you want on Friday, and I should be available. And that way, Rebecca can her and I can write some things down, some more questions.
Cool.
And if one of the ladies from your office wants to give me a call, they're welcome to give me a call tomorrow, and we can talk about some more of that stuff. So,
yeah, I'll probably have Shelly or somebody from my team chat with you.
Okay, perfect. Well, I appreciate you very much for giving me a call this morning, or not this morning, but this evening, and you have a great, safe rest of your day.
Thank you, and good to meet you, Rebecca. Thank you guys so much. Have a good night.
Thank you. You too.
Okay, bye-bye. How do you like them apples? You know what I'm saying? How do you like them apples? Okay, so a couple of things we got to remember. You have to find the bunnies. You have to find the pain. You have to remind them of the pain. You have to remind them of the problem. Did anybody learn a thing or two there? The thing that you guys don't want, by the way, have I ever had a bad call? Let's just be honest.
Never.
Have you guys ever seen me have a bad call? Do you want to know why? Because I love people.
Yeah. I
love people. And that guy, G golly darn on it, is a nice golly gosh darn guy. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, he is a really sweet guy. Yeah.
Yes. And he's going to make me want to say golly for about a month. I was like, is this Ned Flanders from The Simpsons? You know, super awesome guy. So what's his pain point, right? Lizbeth, she knew he was moving to a farm. I love that she said chicken coop. Homeboy is making 30,000 chickens for one of the largest egg farmers on the planet. And she's like, yeah, he builds chicken coops. Oh my gosh, dude, you made my whole night. Oh my gosh, I love that. I was like in such a good mood when he says, yeah, we're building this and we're doing that. And I'm like, this guy is way beyond chicken coops.
Yes, like, just a little.
Like he's a handyman on Craigslist. Like, hey, I'll build you a chicken coop at your house for 15 or, you know, whatever. So anyway, did you guys see how I got him to talk in the very beginning? Right. I knew his biggest stress is he's moving to a new spot. So what's going on? Catch me up to speed. And then he went off. And what he did is he gave me all the ammunition I needed. And once I have all the ammunition, I got a big bucket of bullets. Okay. Got all these pieces of information. I can now pull that little bullet out and choose to just snipe one bullet back at him at a time. I don't have to talk that much. I can just encourage him to go the right direction because I have now all the ammunition.
Mm-hmm.
And gosh dang it, Dwight, next time we call this guy, which will be on the next jam session, we will definitely use the chicken or the egg analogy. I'll say, Corey, what do you think happened first, the chicken or the egg?
The chicken or the egg.
Hector says, question, why lease option instead of SubTo? Because number one, why does it matter if I do a lease option versus SubTo? Guys, remember when you joined SubTo, you didn't learn just you didn't come in here to learn only SubTo. We learned seller finance. We learned lease options. We learned contract for deed, agreements for sale, bond for deed. We learn novation agreements. We learn Morby methods. We learn all of the great creative finance strategies, my friends. But the second somebody brings up a deed transfer as their biggest issue, I just pull back and I go lease option. Why? Why would I not go for SubTo?
Because you will feel more comfortable.
It's not the purpose of the call.
Mm-hmm.
You knucklehead. The purpose of the call is to get him to go on a second date with me. Some of y'all are single for a reason. Y'all can't get a second date. Okay? It's my first date with him. I'm not going to tell him that I like to wear socks in bed. He's not going to want to go on a second date with me. Right? You don't tell people. You ladies know this so well. You don't tell them all the secrets, okay, of how long it takes for you to do your hair. And when it's time to go to church, it takes 3 hours to get ready. You don't tell him that on the first date. You wait until you're married to let him find out on his own and go, gosh, dang it. It takes you that long to get ready? Like, bro, if I told you up front, we wouldn't have gone on a second date. This is just who I am. Get used to it, right? Okay, so some of y'all suck at regular life negotiations, and you're sitting over here going, why didn't you just try and close him on SubTo? Because I'm not a closer. I don't want to be a closer. Closers are losers, okay? You guys know what the last 5 letters of the word closer is?
Loser.
Loser. It's the loser. Sluicer. Okay, if you pronunciate that, it's sluicer. It's a loser. I do not want to be a sluicer. I'm not a closer. I'm not closing people. Putting SubTo in a deed transfer is an obvious problem of his, would cause a conflict in a 4-minute conversation. I'm not interested in causing conflict. I'm interested in getting deep enough in the conversation where I can then regurgitate the problem back to him. And he says to me, well, this sounds risky. I'm like, well, you know what does sound risky to me? Is next month's payment. Highlight the pain. Could I have gotten to the point, my friends, where I could have highlighted his pain if I brought up the deed transfer? As like, you don't need to worry about the deed transfer. Okay. Meredith says, I'm a therapist and the empathy and validation you delivered was magic. Do you want to know why? Nobody taught me how to love people. I just love people. You either love people or you don't. And when people are like, I'm the best closer, I'm like, I think you pronounced that wrong. You meant to say seluser. It's like French. It's like seluser. I do not want to be a seluser. Okay. I want to be a friend to these people. I want to solve their problem. And more importantly, I want to see Liz go and make more babies on this farm. Is that too late? Have you guys decided you're done?
Yeah, we're done.
Are you sure? Because an apple farm could change anybody's mind.
Exactly. So
not
it's
too late.
Never too late.
Okay, so yeah, look, here's the challenge. I don't know if you have the down payment, but let's structure this for just a second, okay? Think about this for a second. Couple of seconds, because people are like, well, aren't you going to do a zero down deal all the time? Every deal's a zero down. No. Sometimes you want the farm of your dreams and you're willing to put 8% down, which is what he's asking for. Do you guys know a bank that would allow you guys to put 8% down on an agricultural farm and then let you lease it with and pay the lower interest rate? He has a low interest rate on this property. Do you guys know any banks that would let you do that? It's a phenomenal deal. Remember that when you guys are the Burr people out there, okay, and you're going to put 30% down on an 8% agricultural loan or a rural loan, okay? Felix says 20% is normal. So 20% on this deal would be close to $400,000. So if in fact he did require, and by the way, am I trying to overcome the $150,000 down payment today in my first conversation?
Nope.
Nope. Again, you don't tell your future husband it takes you 3 hours to get dressed for church until at least the third date. Okay. Then you can start being a little bit more honest. Why? Because you probably gave him the first kiss. You probably held his hand. You probably gave him a little smoocheroo. He's now invested in the relationship. So do you think that Corey and Rebecca are invested in a potential outcome? Did I sell the outcome really well today?
Yes.
Okay. So Liz, they are now going to think all night long about the outcome, the outcome, the outcome, the outcome. If I tomorrow, which is not how I operate, but let's say, just say tomorrow, hey, Corey, I totally get that you want 200,000. I'm going to have a hard time even coming up with 100. Me and Liz found another farm like 15 miles down the road. We might execute on that because they're letting us do a 0 down deal. I might need to walk away from this deal. Is there a way I could squeeze a lower down payment on this situation with Corey? Yes or no?
Yes.
You guys now see how I get lower down payments? I don't bring it up in the first conversation. Okay. It's like I didn't tell my wife on the first date, I snore if I lay on my back. Okay. Am I a bad person? No, it just was not necessary at the time. Okay. Okay. So I would wait until the next conversation or the conversation afterwards. And I would say, hey, this is what we're going to do. Now, Liz might have to go and raise some private money for this deal. She might bring in some private money partners and say, hey, who wants to come in on this deal? That's why she has a community. That's why she didn't join and buy a course. That's why she didn't join a mentorship. That's why she joined a community that at 7, what time is it? Where y'all at? 9:06? Who's 9:06 tonight? Hi, Andrew. It's 9:06 on the East Coast right now. And y'all are in here watching us close apple orchards. 601 people in here. Tell me you are in a course. Tell me you're in a mentorship. Or, good golly, tell me that you're in a community. Good golly, gosh darn it. I don't talk like Ned Flanders, sadly, but I could try. So we are a community where we help each other get deals. Yeah. There's probably people that are going to be like, Liz, this is so dope. You know what's funny too is like Liz is also a transaction coordinator. She could do the lease option. She could do the thing. But I'm not going to say, well, Liz is going to walk you through the paperwork. She's the person that is buying the deal. That doesn't sound to me like a disinterested third party. I would say me and my team, right? And so these are the things that I like to do for people that are OGs and people that provide a lot of value in this community. I want to come in and go, use my credibility, use my thing. Let's do this. I will now get free applesauce for the rest of my life. This is how I wedge into free Apple products for the rest of my life. This is called a wedge deal.
Free apples, free peaches, free oranges, lemons.
Oh my gosh, dude. I'm so jealous of you. How many people wish, like, how do you get a farm with no money out of your pocket? Right here. It's the greatest market to do it in too. Everybody's.
You can be partner with us as well.
I have no time to do that, but yes, it's a good idea. There's other people in here that would like that, I'm sure. Okay. Yes. So, you don't pay taxes on a farm, correct? You pay a lot less taxes on a farm. It's zoned as agricultural rather than residential. And so like my farm in Montana, we are zoned agricultural. So my tax bill is like $2,000 a year. If I was not agricultural, I'd be like $40,000 a year. It's 20 something acres. It's in a really expensive part of town. So she will be still taxed, but she won't be taxed as high. Okay. Now, if you guys want a really good cheat code, here's what you do. I shouldn't talk about this, but you bury a loved one on your property and you turn it into a tax-free shelter because now it's a cemetery. And you cannot, there you go. Trump did, a lot of my friends do it. Okay. When my dog dies, that's where he's going. I'm thank you, dog. You're going to make it. Just kidding. You can't do it with dogs. Yeah. It has to be like actual stuff. Okay, cool. So Liz, congratulations. Would you like me to help you kind of close the deal and be the final like pushover?
Yes.
Okay. Happy to do it.
I love you. Thank you.
Hey, no problem. This is what happens
This means a lot.
when you just love people. You just love people, right?
You should see my kids whenever they went in there. They were already picking their rooms, what they were going to do to help with the farm.
Where do you think we're doing Community Camp 2026, dude?
There you go. Yes. Yes, right there. Because it has a big and we can also later on turn it into wedding venues and all that stuff, because it has a big part that you can do meetings and all that stuff. So
oh my gosh, dude, I'm telling you, like, that is the American dream right there, right? Just go get your own farm. You have all the produce, and by the way, buy it on Creative Finance. And by the way, help the family that, by the way, a real estate agent couldn't sell for 14 months.
Yep.
Tell me real estate agents know anything. Sorry, I'm sorry if you're a real estate. There's 600 people in here. There's got to be a real estate agent that's like, I hate you, Pace.
But you're right.
But you're in the right place, right? You're learning that. And what's crazy is if an agent was involved here, they would blow the deal up. And it would be 17 more calls.
Yeah.
Right? And more importantly, your down payment would have to be an extra $60,000 to cover their fees. So if you guys are ever wondering, like, how do I get better deals? Direct to seller. It's just a more challenging lead magnet or lead strategy. Where do I go if I'm in SubTo and I want to learn how to go generate more leads? Where do I go in the SubTo community? Anybody know? Could you watch the vault? Do you think we've done thousands of hours of Zooms? So some of you guys are like, wait, so this is SubTo. No, SubTo is 39 Zooms a week and local meetups, and it's cool, fun events at my office. So everybody pay attention to this. This is really important for you to understand. We do not pressure or push on sellers. If we're not a good fit, we're not a good fit, period. Creative Finance is by far the best strategy on the planet. Not just now, it always has been the best. Yeah. People that are using cash, I use cash too every once in a while. It just makes me feel sick. Okay? I'm sorry. It's like I could walk into the gas station and pay okay, think about this. Do you guys remember the good old days when you would walk into the gas station and pay $40 and you go, $40 on pump number 3?
Yes.
That's the Burr strategy. Does it work? Yeah, but it's really stupid. It's like, why would I do that? Why would I waste my time doing all these things when I could just go to the pump and use Creative Finance, which is Apple Pay? I could just tap Apple Pay on the gas station. Keep, boom, right? Okay, so we are the best strategy for this family. Everybody in here, tell me you joined the greatest thing on planet Earth when you watch a call like that. You know you are learning the solutions to people's problems they cannot solve without you. We're not selling soap. We're not selling an MLM. We're not doing e-com. We're literally changing families' lives that are trying to freaking make 30,000 chickens. And it's weird now, every time you go to the Walmart and you see the Good Egg brand, you're going to remember this call and be like, gosh, dang it, I'm part of the circle of life, right?
Yes.
It's so cool, dude. It's so freaking cool how lucky we are that we know this stuff, right? So also, did everybody learn the new pronunciation for closer, which is seluzer? Seluzer. I do not want to close. Does anybody want to close a human being? Does anyone want to close a deal? No, I want to help people. I want to solve problems. I want to be a helper. I want to be a tool. I want to be a gift to people. I don't want to be closing people, okay? Did anybody in here speak French? Did I do a good job? Was I totally trash? So great job, Liz. Everybody give her a round of applause. I want to hear everybody in your own room. Give her a round of applause. We're proud of you.
I love you guys. I love you, Pace. Thank you. Thank you so much. This is a big deal for me.
It's a big deal for me. I get free apples for the rest of my life. What are you talking about? It's the best. It might be the best deal I ever did, dude.
Imagine I'm going to be the apple lady.
Yeah, you're going to be the apple lady. Oh my gosh. So good.
Love it.
Liz, we're proud of you.
Thank you.
And tell your husband we love him too.
I will. He's listening.
Hey, let us see your handsome face, you son of a gun.
Over here, babe.
He's like, crap, now I own an apple orchard? What the heck?
I know. Whenever we were taking the kids, he was looking at me like, "Are you sure?" Because one, the kid will see it. You know, it's like for real this time.
Bro,
What's up?
you're already wearing the wife beater. We just need you to get some overalls and some boots, bro.
Oh yeah, freestyling.
Guys, when they close this farm, please somebody get him some Carhartt overalls and also get him a shirt that says "Good golly" on it. Okay.
Good golly.
Proud of you guys. Let's be back in here tomorrow. Okay.
Sounds
Okie
good.
dokie.
Thanks.
Thank you, Pace.
Love you guys. Good to see you.